This is my indie dungeon explorer, the Gilded Dungeon, and this is devlog number 6. Over the past week, I've been uploading shorts about changes that I have made to my game. I will aim to post a short every day from Monday to Friday and do a longer video on Sunday. Over the past week, I've added my first weapon, a health counter, which you can see now that the game is in full view, and 2 new items. When I added the weapon, I set up the basics for adding poison damage to my game. Today, I am adding this. To do this, I rearranged my code slightly, so I have a variable that is set to true while the poison should be active. This also starts a 3-second timer that runs and changes the variable back to false at the end of it. During those 3 seconds, a function is called every frame. This then uses the delta from the poison speed variable to set the rate to a slower speed, which would be increased when more poison speed is added through the player leveling up their stats. So, at a base level, the damage is taken every second. Then the get hit function is called, with the poison damage passed into it so as the enemy is damaged and checks for death. Here is an attempt to show you this in game, although it is quite hard to see since the weapon fires so quickly. To view damage on the enemies easier, I wrote a simple shader script that would set the colour to be whatever I chose the colour to be. In this case, I set it to white since it's the easiest to see, but I can change it later if it requires another colour. Then I changed the variable in the code from 0 to 1 and back to 0 again after 0.1 seconds. This will show a bright flash whenever the enemy is hit. I also added this to the player as the code was exactly the same. After playing the game for a few minutes, I thought that the player was getting hit too often, so added invincibility frames. I set this to 1000 at first, and only let the player take damage if the iframes variable was at 0. Every time the player got hit, it was reset back to 1000, would tick down every frame by 1. This was taking too long, so I changed the number to 100 so that the game would not be as easy. That is everything I've added this weekend to my game. Next week, I'm hoping to get a basic enemy into the game. However, these take much longer, as I need to draw all the animated art for the characters and add their special abilities. So, over the next few days, expect shorts adding minor features and items into the game. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe so you can keep up to date with all of my devlogs.